So hello students, in this video we will see algorithms to perform different operations in a linked list. But before that, let me tell you what are the different types of linked list. Okay, so linked list can be of different categories and they are single linked list. So single linked list is also called as one-way linked list. Then we have doubly linked list. Doubly linked list is also called as two-way linked list. And the number 3 is circular linked list, and the final one is header linked list. Now let us talk about single linked list first. And now when we say single linked list, what does it means? In a single linked list we have exactly one address field in each of the node. So suppose these are nodes. Node means memory blocks. Each of the memory blocks must have exactly one address field, and this address field contains address of the next node only. So from the second node we can get address of the third node only, and finally since there are exactly one address field for the last node, the node which do not have any further node, then for the last node the address field contains a special value which is known as null value. So this is the last node. So in a one-way list we can travel only in one direction. That means first we will get the address of the first node from a special variable known as start, and from that start node we get the address of the first node, and then we can traverse the entire linked list in one direction only. So it is known as one-way linked list. Okay, so this is what one-way linked list is all about. And now we will explore algorithm to conduct various operations like traversing, creation, insertion, deletion, etc. on a single linked list. After completing all the algorithms on a single linked list, we will move on to two-way linked list and then circular linked list. Okay, so today we'll discuss the first operation of that could we apply on a single linked list is traversing. See, let me tell you all kind of operations first, then we will see the algorithm for different operations. Operations on single linked list. Okay, so there are many operations that we can perform on a single linked list once it has been implemented in the computer's memory. So the operations are, first we will see traversing, then we have insertion, then we have deletion, searching, also we have sorting. Okay, so at first we will see traversing a single linked list. We will discuss about traversal operation. Traversing a one-way linked list. So we already know what is the meaning of traversing. Okay, so traversing a list means what? See, linked list is a collection of memory block, and those memory blocks are known as nodes, and each of the nodes in the info part there are data item. So when we say traversing a linked list is the process of visiting each node node at least once to apply any process on the info part of node. So when I say on the info part, because in the info part there are some data items. Okay, so traversing could be to print all the data, traversing could be to modify all the data item present in info part of every node. So we have in array also we have seen why traversing is required. So you must understand that what exactly traversing means. So suppose we have a linked list having some nodes. Let's say we have 3 nodes and the last one is null, and definitely when we implement a linked list we should maintain a pointer variable known as start, and let us assume that these are the data item present in the linked list, in the info part of the linked list. So traversing the list means from this variable start we will get the address of the first node, and then once we reach the address of the once we reach to the first node we'll process its info part, then we'll try to find out the address of the next node. So from where we can get the address of the next node? From the first node itself, because in its link part there will be the address of the next node, and by doing so when we reach to a null our traversing will complete. So now let us discuss the algorithm of traversing a one-way linked list. Okay, now we must write the algorithm as a function. So when I say function, my function must have a name, traverse underscore linked list. So this is the function name, traverse underscore linked list. Now when I say function, some parameter must be passed, because see, you can traverse a linked list only when there has been a list containing at least some nodes, and if already a list is present or linked list is present, then definitely there must be a pointer variable known as start that should contain address of the first node. So the traverse function must receive the address of the start node, so it must receive a pointer variable. So let us call that pointer variable as asterisk start. So this is asterisk start. So what is start? Here in this variable start, the address of the first node must be placed. Now in order to represent a linked list we need a structure variable. So before writing this function, before this you must declare that what are the member of the structure. So we say there must be a struct node, there must be a structured data type called node, in which there must be at least 2 fields. And what are the 2 fields? The first field must be known as info field, and info, when we declare the field, it must have a data type, and the data type of info field could be anything. It could be integer, it could be character, it could be float. We don't bother about it. See, depending when we implement the program, then we will discuss that depending upon the type of data value we store, it could be vary. But the second field, which is a linked field, its data type must be written like this: struct node asterisk link, because this is the field which contains address of the other nodes. Okay, so this pointer variable start, since it is a pointer variable, whom do it will point in? It will point to a node, so it must have a data type also. So its data type must be same as the structured type. So its data type should be declared as struct node. So struct node asterisk start. So this should be this should be my parameter, because asterisk start means it is a pointer variable and then struct node. Now begin. So begin means the start of the algorithm. See, what should you write initially? So initially I will create a temporary pointer variable, let's say ptr. Now ptr is my ptr is my temporary pointer variable, where I shall assign the value ptr with start. So that address of the first node is now become stored in ptr. Why I have mentioned here, I will explain. Why this assignment is required, I will explain it. Now suppose the value of start is stored in ptr means, now suppose ptr contains the address of the first node. So definitely if I get the address of the first node in ptr, I can apply the process. So how can I write it? Apply process. Now process to whom? I shall apply the process to the info part of the ptr. Now what is ptr? ptr itself is a pointer variable. So how can I write? So this is a structure type pointer. It is a pointer to a structure. So I know in pointer to a structure we have discussed that through a pointer to refer any member of a structure you should use arrow mark. Pointer, arrow mark, then you should write info. So this line makes processing of information part of ptr. Now after the first node is processed, we need address of the second node. Now how can we get the address of the second node? Okay, now address of the second node can be extracted from the link field, of the current node. So currently my current node is, the address of the current node is present in ptr. Okay, and through ptr if I refer to the link part, so if I write ptr arrow mark link, then this value will give me another address. So I can store that address in ptr. So this line indicates the value of ptr is now changed, and the now ptr contains address of the next node. Now after this change has been done, then I should repeat this line. So I should apply process to the ptr of info once again, then again my ptr should be updated. So these two lines must be repeated. So here I have to use a loop. So I am implementing while loop. So while, now what should be my condition? That we will discuss. So my condition should be like this: while ptr not equals null. So I am saying as long as the value of ptr is not null, these two lines must be repeated, and this is my end of while block. This is the end of while block, and once this loop continues and completes, my algorithm shall end here. This is end of traverse beginning, and this is end. So let me explain this process with a diagram. So let us assume this is my start. Variable start contains an address, and this address is, let's say, 3266. This is an address, so which points to a node. Okay, now this node, the address of this node is 3266. This is a completely a memory block, and the complete block address is 3266. Its info part may contain some value, let's say an integer value or character value, let's say b. This is a character value. The link part should contain address of another node. Let us assume 4232. This is the address. So link part contains another block address. That block is also a node, and its address is 4232. Again it has two fields. One is info part, one is link part. So its info part, let's say, contains x, and link part contains 8646. This is address field. Now let us assume this is another block. 8646 is the address, and here the data stored is, let's say, m, and this one is the last node, so now null. The value stored in the link file is none. Now according to algorithm, my first statement says ptr equal to start. So what happens here, the value of ptr is now, the value of ptr now becomes start, means what is start? 3266. Now it becomes 3266. Okay, now let us discuss the next step of the algorithm. While ptr not equal to null, so definitely my ptr is 3266, which is not equal to null. Therefore my loop will continue. I will enter into the block and apply process ptr of info, ptr arrow mark info. So what is ptr? ptr is 3266. That means ptr point to this position. So now ptr of arrow info, here I have written ptr of info. So that means ptr of info means, what is the value in the info part of ptr? B. So at this line apply process ptr info means the value processed output is, the value processed is B. In the next line I have updated the value of ptr. See, this is an assignment operator. So what I have done here, ptr of link is extracted and it is assigned in ptr. So ptr, current value of ptr is 3266, current value of ptr is 3266. So through 3, now we will move to the 3266 and its link field value is extracted. This is its link field. So what is it? 4232. So now ptr value becomes 4232. So now ptr points to this location. So after that end while, so we'll go back to the loop. ptr not equal to null, yes, it is true. So again we enter into the block, then apply process ptr of info. So what is the current value of ptr? So current value of ptr is, let's see, 4232. So its info part through ptr. So we ptr of info means info part 4232, info part of 4232. So what is it? X. So the next data that is being output is X. Here the next step is ptr of link is assigned in ptr. So current value of ptr is 4232. So 4232, the link part of 4232 is 8646. So ptr value is updated to 8646. Now this is my ptr value. So it points to this location. So after this line end while, so I'll go back to loop once again. The condition is evaluated, ptr not equal to null. Yes, it is again true because ptr has not reached null. So enter into the loop again, body again, then apply process ptr of info. So what is ptr? Current value of ptr 8646. So its info part, this is 8646, its info part is m. So m is processed means the output value becomes now m. Okay, so after processing that, my ptr value is changed. ptr of link, what is current value of ptr? 8646. So 8646, so link part of 8646 is how much? Null. Now this null value is assigned in ptr. So now recent value of ptr is becomes null. Now end while, so after end while my loop will go back to the condition part, loop condition, where ptr not equal to null is evaluated. Now this condition become false because my ptr value has already reached to null. So when this condition becomes false, the loop will break and it will come out of this block, and finally the end of the algorithm will reach, and this is how my algorithm will terminate. I hope you understood the concept of traversing a linked list. Okay, in my next video I will give an example and the real implementation of traversing a linked list, where I will try to count the number of nodes present in a linked list, or you can say number of elements present in a linked list. We will discuss it in our next video. Thank you.